What's up, YouTube? How's it going? Got a lot going on in the garage today. So Britt's been on a scooter buying binge, so we picked up all these scooters and the moped and the other moped for $100. I bought a couple batteries and they're all working. So now we've got a group of boys, and the little ones, they're customizing their scooter already, which, they're my kids, so they're gonna do that. But they're working on that, and I'm out here working on this. Basically, I got my springs in today. Megan springs for a 17 front wheel drive Pacifica. I'm anxious to put them on. I want to see what they do. They aren't anything extreme. They only, a 1 to a 1.5 inch drop. So we're working on that right now. And then I'm out here. I just got my tires in the mail. But look at the stance on this van. Man, it's gonna look good. So we've got these tires. I picked these rims up for $300. Can't beat it. It's like super deal. They've got almost brand new tires on them, but you can see there's not enough tires. So I bought one size under stock size, 245. It calls for 250. So, I want a lot of tire on the rim because we drive this thing, and you can definitely feel the difference with a low profile tire when you hit bumps, road noise, all that stuff. We want to have the van look cool and sporty, but we also want to have comfort. You know what I mean? This is our family van. We take this thing everywhere. So working on that, I did manage to find two 35, 45, 20s. So they're a little bit narrower, so we're gonna have some good tire stretch. I'm about to take these up to a shop right now and see if I can have them installed. If you've watched my videos, you know that, I can install my own tires and we do that. But when it comes to taking rubber bands off like these, it's not impossible, but it's super hard. It's a pain in the butt, and I don't want to do it. So in this video, we're going to tackle that wheel gap. Hopefully we can minimize it. I know it's not going to be lowered up over the wheels, and you know what I mean, it's not going to look slammed, but my biggest goal here is to make it look a little more sporty. I'm hoping my tires are big enough, because if they're small, they're going to look just like this again, and they're going to look too small in the car. I did a lot of research, so I'm hoping that this fixes it. But I found these tires, the whole set, for $350. They're directional. They got a cool tread pattern. Can't beat it. They're only going to be summer wheels, so even if they don't, go for 80,000 miles, who cares? Because by then, I will have a different setup. I have more plans for this in the future, but this right now gets me started, and it's definitely going to make the van look a little bit sportier. So let's get to work on that. Got to head to the tire shop, get this done. And this is what it looks like now. Hopefully it looks a little sportier, a little more cool at the end of this video. All right, I found a garage that's willing to stretch tires. I mean, they're not going to have an insane amount of stretch, but they are going to have some stretch because I wanted to make them look a little rounder. But as for these are the Megan, however you call it, coils. They look good. They've got their name on them right there. I read one story where the person said got over an inch, just over an inch of lowering. Most of the time they vary about 3/4 of an inch to an inch, maybe a little more. And the website even states drop rates vary on weight and this and that, or whatever you've got done to your vehicle. So, I mean, if we can at least get, an inch or maybe a little bit more of drop, it's got to make the van look sportier. It's got to make it look better, because right now it's stock. So, first thing I did was, when I got it, was black wheels and the red brakes, and I like that. It looked good. It doesn't look bad stock. I'm very picky when it comes to wheels, so I did a lot of research. The tires, obviously I researched them, got the narrow ones so they would have a little bit of stretch, makes them rounder, makes them look a little better, makes the rim lip stick out a little bit. Rims, I'm always looking at offsets, looking at pictures of vans or other cars. Whenever I'm buying rims for something, I'm looking at that offset, I'm looking at what it looks like, the size, everything. 20-inch on a Pacifica is going to be a little bit small. It is what it is. But I got a super deal on those rims, and we're going to put them on there for now because I don't want to wait. I could wait and, maybe by in the summer, I've got 22s on there and, but I want something now, I didn't want to put different tires on my stock wheels because then I'd have to take those off and put winter tires back on. So I found these rims cheap off of Mercedes for $300. Cannot beat it. Found a set of tires for $300 shipped. The coilovers were $179. Like, that's not much money to get your car lowered, get nice wheels and tires on it, have it set up for the summer. It's a start. It's a beginning. I'm anxious to see what this thing's going to look like when I pick it up. I'll either cry or, whatever. We're going to work with it. We're going to deal with it. And whatever it needs, we're going to get it done. She's back. All right. I'm happy with the way it looks because before the tires were too small and it just looked like I was trying to put wheels on a car that just didn't go. Now, at least, it looks better than it did before on the 18-inch wheels and the stock size tires. At least now I have, cool 20-inch wheels with a good tire on it that comes out to the wheel well, all that stuff. But I'm looking at this Megan kit, and I know a lot of people are asking questions about this kit. It's the most popular one that pops up when you're researching lowering a Pacifica. You've got this one and then the RSR springs, which are the same thing. They lower the same amount. It's the same dang thing. Now, I noticed Megan dismisses themselves from any responsibility of anything. Once you purchase these things, you're kind of on your own. Warranty card makes it very clear. Do not use these on the road. You put them on, it's your fault. You tighten or leave something too tight or loosen, it's your fault. Basically, you bought them, you're stuck with them. Now, make them work. The policy, again, they make it very clear. Buyer beware, or you buy it, you bought it, it's on you as is. And I'm cool with that because that's kind of how I do everything. Came with a cool card. Thanks you for picking it up, which is pretty cool. Couple decals, which I like these. These will go good on the refrigerator, and toolbox. But these are the springs. I've bought teen springs. I've bought multiple different sets of springs before. I lower everything I drive. They feel good. I mean, this is where you're getting the drop from right here. But they feel good, and it says that they will strengthen or a higher spring rate. So I'm guessing it's going to be a little stiffer and a little lower. But that's the Megan springs. Everybody's curious about them. I haven't seen one video on these things at all. So I felt it was pertinent to make a video because more and more people are going to be lowering their Pacificas, and this is the first kit that pops up. I'm hoping to get at least 1.5 inches out of it. I'm going to get 1.5 inches out of it, regardless of what I have to do. But I mean, there they are. They're springs. They're the same as any other spring. And now it just comes time, it's time to put them on. So here are the tires. Basically, I put a nice sport tire on there. 235, 45, 20. It's got a little bit of stretch on it. You can see the sidewall goes in a little bit. But that's the smallest 20-inch tire I could find as far as width. In my experience, my looking. I did a lot of research, and You can't really see in there, but that's a really nice tire. Britt drove it back. She said it drives amazing, and that's what we really want, is her to be happy. Because as long as this thing still drives good, I can keep throwing parts at it. You know what I mean? But just look at it. It looks a ton better than stock. It's not where we're going with it, but it's on its way. You know, progress. If you've watched my channel, you know I have 6 children. We have 6 boys in this house. We just bought that car for one, bought that car for another. So, you know, I don't have a bunch of money to go out and buy everything at once. If I had $3 grand, I'd buy the wheels and the air ride and I'd be done. It'd be done. Because I love the color. I love everything about this van. It looks good. The coolest part I liked with these wheels is this gunmetal gray matches exactly my paint. It's like these wheels were made for this van. I mean, I can't even, I try to show you here what I'm seeing, but I mean, that's the same color to a T. You hold it up there, these were made for this wheel, or this van. So they came with these tires on them. You can see there's a ½ inch of tread. I'm gonna sell these tires for 150 bucks, and I'm gonna get half my money back. So I planned that from the beginning. But you can see these are super small. Their rims were on a car before this. So, and that's kind of how I do things, you know. I do everything budget-wise. I don't just go spend a bunch of money on the most expensive things and this and that. I just don't do that. I'm a family man. I'm a normal guy. I'm not a mechanic. And I like cars. I like cool cars. So you watch my videos and you watch this series on the Pacifica, you're going to see I do a lot of things the hard way because I'm doing it the budget way. I'm doing it the way that's cost effective for my family, but I get the same result. But let's get busy on this rear end and see what we can do to this thing. Now, nowhere in that box could I find instructions. Maybe I missed them. But I didn't find anything. So I did read somewhere in a forum, bump stops do have to be trimmed. So basically it goes in like that. I don't know where I should trim it at, probably here or something. And then we'll slide that down in there like so. We'll throw this bad boy back in. The backs are actually pretty freaking easy. Got one bolt right here, put a jack underneath this, and I lowered the jack and that whole arm comes down. Probably not gonna be very easy to get that other spring in there, but I'll get it. And yeah, I was surprised at how easy that really is. Lining this bolt back up though, I feel is gonna be the fun one. But I got pry bars and air tools, so we'll be good. But you can see that this spring is almost identical to this one, other than these 3 center loops. Don't know what that is. Honest to God, probably could have got away with just heating this spring right here, and right here. I've done it before. It works great. As long as you have the right shocks to support it, you're usually okay. But, alright, I'm going to try to get this bump stop taken care of. I think I'm just going to go ahead and trim it here. I don't know. We'll see. I'll trim it here. That way I know if I ever did get 2 inches drop or enough travel to bottom that out. We don't want to be bottoming out. So, take care of that now with a Sawzall. Alright, just got the back finished and drove it around. It came down a lot, actually. We're at 31 5/8. You can see now we are at 29 3/4. So that's a significant drop. I'm happy with that. It definitely looks better. I mean, still looks essentially stock, but up next to another one, it's gonna look sporty. Because look above this wheel. This is what we did have right here. We had all of 4.5 inches. It's sitting nice and low. I like it. I like it a lot. So I am happy with them, and the rears are super easy to do. Literally, put your jack underneath that arm, pull that bolt, let your jack down, push down with your foot and pull the spring out, and then you just what I did is, you got the bottom hat and the top hat. I put a bunch of grease in those, put it all back together. That way, no matter what, nothing's squeaking, you know, because springs tend to turn and, you know, creak when you turn and just, you know. So I greased all that up. It drives wonderfully. So now I'm gonna go to the store and I have to rent a spring compressor tool for the front so I can get these on the fronts. I'm actually really happy with Megan's kit. It took that back down a lot. Just look at it. But as far as the ride, what is it? The RSR kit's $369. This kit was $179, shipped to the door. It drives wonderful. I mean, I took it around the block to try to get that rear end to settle a little bit so I could actually see what I got. It came down, and because when I took it off the jack, it still read the same, and I was like, it better not be the same. I'll freak out. But I knew, you know, everything's bound up when you let it off a jack, so they say to at least go back and forth as far as your wheelbase to let your suspension settle. We got to get this front done. I'm excited now. Look at this front. Jesus. 4 inches. Looks like more than 4. I want it to be like 2 fingers, you know? All right. It's done. We're driving it. It feels good. It sounds good. I mean, you know, I've lowered some vehicles before and it just rode like a tank. I mean, it feels exactly like it did stock. I feel like we did get some good drop in the rear. It came down, I think, just about 2 inches, a little under 2 inches in the rear. The front, 1 inch. But the back was higher, so that's nice. So it leveled the van, really. But we're gonna take this thing. I've got my gimbal with me. We'll get some shots of it. I'll get a setting on level pavement. We'll walk around it, and I'll show you tell you what I think about the Megan Springs, and you know, help you guys decide whether you want to buy them or not. But I mean, big tests as speed bumps. No noise. No noise. So, all right, let's pull over in this parking lot, and I'll show you what it looks like. And there you have it. It's done. We wrapped it up at about 11 o'clock last night. There was a storm rolling in, and we were just trying to beat the clock. It was a pretty good storm, so I would have filmed more of the front. Basically, just pull the strut out at easy, self-explanatory. Rented the spring compressor, compressed the springs, put them on. I sat it down last night, and you know, it was 11, and it didn't quite sit down all the way, and I was kind of irritated, and it took me a while to fall asleep. But we drove it today. It's settled, and I'm pretty happy with where it's at. It's not done, you know. We're gonna do more to it. I want to look into front lip. I want to possibly look into wrapping this chrome, and once it's just all gray, I think it's gonna look really good. but as of now, where the wheels are, how they come out just right with the fender, that's what I was aiming for. It looks good. I like it. You can definitely tell it's lowered. It's in that area, you know, between, you know, does it look lowered or does it look stock? To me, it looks lowered because I'm used to it, and the thing has just been crazy tall ever since I got it. And I definitely think it looks sportier. So that's basically my review on the Megan springs. They're not hard to install. Literally one bolt in the back. That arm flips down, put the spring in. Easy. Fronts, obviously, struts are the same on everything. It is what it is. But man, I like it. For $179 springs, I don't think you can beat it. I think the next set of springs to get the same amount of drop as the RSRs, or I believe that's the name, and they're $369. Why? They're the same exact thing to me. But the wheels go with the van perfectly. It's almost a sportier rendition of what the stock wheels look like, and I like that. I was actually looking at like Hellcat rims, or, you know, Charger or Challenger rims, the big 20-inch black ones, and couldn't find any cheap, you know, cheap enough for me. I paid $300 for the wheels and tires. I took the tires off, bought these tires for $350, the lowering kit for $179, and you know, we're here. So this is just the beginning. I'm gonna keep going with the Pacifica series, and we'll see where this ends up, but I like it for now. I'm happy. I was worried it wasn't gonna come down enough because 20s are small on these things. Trying to close that gap is crazy, and I think we did it. So if you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be doing, you know, more and more stuff on this, and eventually we'll reach our end goal. We'll have this thing sitting on bags, and hopefully all that chrome will be blacked out. I don't want to paint it. That's my big, I'm not gonna paint it. I'm not gonna paint the emblems. I'm not doing anything that like ruins the chrome. It's got to be wrapped, or it's got to be like plasti dipped, something. I do not want to ruin anything, and once you paint it, you're never getting that back. But yeah, there it is. If you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. If you are in the VANkulture community and you're watching this video, be sure to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know where I can get that front lip. I definitely want to do a front lip on this thing, and maybe the side skirts. I saw, not really side skirts, but it's like a plate that goes underneath there. It's kind of like a splitter deal for the sides. Looks amazing. And let me know what you would do next. I think it's ready for the front lip and the chrome to be gone, and then we'll see where we stand. Hopefully by then we can do some. Oh, I also want to do a hidden subwoofer in here, some kind of just cool system. I do not want to take out the center dash. You know, that's super clean. I love the way they did that. These vans are super stylish. I mean, orange stitching. It's a sweet van for what you pay for it. Really is. But hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.